This is one-on-one session with the Forum IAS founder and director Ayush Sinha. In this session, students are asked questions to test their preparedness for the personality test. One-on-one sessions are not mock panel sessions.
Shambhavi, so can you briefly tell me about yourself?
Sir, I am from Amethi, sir, Amethi, Uttar Pradesh, and my father works in the Indo Gulf Fertilizer industry. I have been born and brought up there only. I have done my schooling in Aditya Birla Public School till my inter. And then I have done B.Tech Electronics and Communication Engineering from PSIT Kanpur. Later, sir, I joined Infosys. I worked there for a year as a software engineer. Then I started to prepare for UPSC, my job. And meanwhile, I also got a job in Union Bank of India. And I started working there as a probationary officer, so assistant manager. And then, meanwhile, during the working for 5 years, I got into IPS. Then I took 2 QLs and then I gave the exam again, and now I'm in the academy.
All right. You are currently selected in the Indian Police Service?
Yes, sir.
All right. So you have had a lot of change in profile. Tell me, why is Amethi always in news?
So mostly because of political reasons, because Gandhi family had been a long-term MP from there. So initially it was Sanjay Gandhi, then Rajiv Gandhi, a short tenure for Sonia Gandhi, and then from a long time Rahul Gandhi was the MP there. So it had been a Congress backed, and that is the reason, sir, mostly.
All right. Shambhavi, what does your name mean?
Sir, my name means Shakti. Shakti is the energy, the female energy which pervades the universe and energizes everything.
All right. Shambhavi, tell me, what are the major challenges before UP as a state today?
Sir, there are multiple challenges before you. So, firstly, I think it is governance and law and order issue. I prioritize it. It is one of the major challenges, sir. Then, secondly, if I say there are infrastructure issues, sir, both social and physical infrastructure. There's a shortage of good schools, hospitals, and everything. Also, so power shortages, road connectivity, and other things. So, this is second issue. Third, sir, human development issue, as UP is overpopulated and it is the area also is like very large. It's like if we compare, it is comparable to Brazil as a country, sir. And that is the issue that the population is huge and it is not that skilled, it's not that educated, not that skilled. So they're also not able to get good jobs also. Fourthly, sir, it is an agriculture belt mostly because it is a plain area. So industries are missing. Services and industries also are pocketed in a very few pockets like Noida NCR belt. It has good services sector. Mostly, if you see in UP, it's mostly agricultural. So, and mostly, sir, in Eastern UP, there's a big issue like there are small land holding size and small and marginal farmers. So, people are practicing subsistence type of agriculture. The cooperative culture is not good there. Cities issues also creep up that agriculture is not that profitable there. So, this is also one of
If you
the
are, the UP government recently invited proposals for developing the economy of Uttar Pradesh.
yes, sir.
Can you give me 3 suggestions how we can build the economy of Uttar Pradesh?
Yes, sir. Sir, my first suggestion would be, sir, agriculture is the backbone. And agriculture, UP is a very rich state in agriculture terms. Like it's the first state in sugarcane production and other things. So we can capitalize on that. We can form cooperatives, FPOs, farmer producer organizations kind of set up, or animal husbandry, sir, like a mole model. We can use it there. And this will help the farmers as well to gain income and also increase the production. Then in the second phase, we can link it to the industries. Like we can use food processing sector, sir. It is a very rich sector and it doesn't need highly skilled people. Also, we can focus on apparels and leather sector because in UP, people are skilled in and already are pioneers in that. Like Agra, Kanpur, they're already pioneers in leather industry. Agra and other places also famous like Banarsi sari. We can capitalize on the handicraft industry, MSME, sir. So these sectors can be capitalized upon. Also, sir, big projects are coming like the Jhansi Defense Corridor is coming. So these kind of big projects also can help us. And sir, thirdly, sir, I feel in the services sector too, the software industry it has a huge potential. So then people, the industry, if it shifts to tier two, tier three cities, it will be a much job created, much more jobs will be created, and people will, and it's beneficial for the company as well. Like Lucknow is projected to be developed as a software sector. So these kind of proposals can help us.
All right. Shambhavi, these days politicians are offering a lot of freebies in elections. What is your opinion on it?
Sir, I feel is one should keep their promise. So it's actually very hard on the exchequer. So if a political party makes certain promises in the election and they are not able to fulfill it, firstly the trust that the public has on the government it diminishes slightly, and secondly, sir, it's very hard on the exchequer. So political party should be more focused on how to bring more and more development rather than just offering on freebies, sir. So that is what I feel that if we are offering freebies, like if it is necessary, obviously for certain sections of the society, we need certain help. So it should be very much judicious and well planned, sir.
You are coming from UP.
Yes, sir.
Do you see that there is a shift in what the politicians used to offer before compared to what is happening now? What did the typical politician offer earlier, which they are not very reluctant to offer now?
So in terms of politics, as far as my knowledge concerned, sir, UP has been literally mired in caste and religion-based politics, sir. So there is
But
always
still,
been
every chief ministerial candidate used to offer government jobs.
yes, sir.
Now, instead of government jobs, we are seeing a trend of offering freebies. What is the reason?
Sir, what I feel is government jobs are getting reduced as the role of private sector is increasing. We are in the liberalization era. And secondly,
No, that
sir,
is not the reason. The charm of government jobs still is there in North India.
yes,
That
sir.
is not
In
the
UP,
reason.
it is definitely there, sir. But the jobs have actually reduced. And it's hard on the exchequer also. If we are offering that much of government jobs. So instead to lure the public, there must be some other way. So they are resorting to PVs now.
What is essential religious practices?
Sir, essential religious practice is a judicial doctrine, sir, in which the judiciary decides upon which are the main essential practices within a religion which needs to be protected under Article 25. And if these are not protected, then the religion is lose its core value. So that is
What do you think Supreme Court has not involved or taken up the hijab controversy that is happening in Karnataka?
sir, I'm exactly not aware of the issue that the Supreme Court has rejected it. Like, I am aware that High Court passed an order that hijab is not an essential religious practice in Islam. I need to check my facts.
What is your opinion on the issue? On this issue, what is your opinion?
Sir, if you'll ask me personally, I would say, sir, education is based on uniformity, sir. And it's basically school's right to the code of conduct on the entire of the students, sir. It's just to ensure uniformity and equality, which I think is an essential part of any educational system. So either rather than over controversy, like putting a controversy into the fact, we must focus more on the educational value being given. So, sir, I feel the Honorable High Court put their minds in the right direction, and if they have decided, I feel, sir, I have to go by that decision.
Okay, tell me three criticisms of this judgment by the Karnataka High Court.
Firstly, the criticism has been said that some people have been criticizing that the conservative parents might not be willing to send their girl children to school. So that is one of the things. Secondly, so there's again an issue that whether what is competent enough that they can decide upon what is an essential practice in a religion or not. So that is the second issue. And third issue, sir, is the politicization of education.
Shambhavi, so what is the reason you are already in the Indian Police Service? What is the reason that you are so unsatisfied that you want to go for civil services?
Sir, it's not about like I'm unsatisfied. It's more about sir my personal preference. When I sir initially started preparing itself, I had a dream of becoming an IAS officer, and I'm just pursuing that dream. Sir, I feel that I have an opportunity at my hands, so why should I not explore it? So, sir, it's nothing against anything else. Like I feel every service has its own charm, own importance, but I just feel that I personally would prefer to become an IAS officer more than any other officer.
All right. You love watching movies.
Yes, sir.
What are some of the last films that you have watched?
Sir, last movie was Badhai Do, which I watched.
Any other films that you have watched?
So before that, I watched some anime movies, some Japanese anime, like a Silent Warrior.
Which movie has changed you as a person? Which movie that you watched has changed you as a person or has had a profound impact on you?
Sir, there were many movies which had a profound impact on me. Sir, like if I would give you an example, uh, I see it very deep perspective, sir. Most recently, the same movie Badhai Do I've seen. It also changed my perspective towards the transgender community. Like I became more open to them. I got introduced to the actual problems they were facing. Initially, sir, I just used to read in theory that yes, these are the things, these are the issues that the community is facing. But when I saw it in the movie, what was happening with the boy and the girl, then I actually felt the pain that they were going through.
All right. You write short stories. Do you also read short stories?
Yes, sir, I do read short stories.
Who's your favorite short story author?
So Premchand is my favorite short story.
Which story in particular of Premchand have you loved the most?
So I can't just pinpoint one of them, sir. I have been reading many of them. One particularly which I acutely remember is Eidgah, sir. Eidgah, the small boy who, instead of buying sweets for himself, buys thongs for his grandmother. Like that kind of selflessness at
Can you
such a
recall the
short
name
age.
of the? Can you recall the name of the child?
Sir, I need to check it once. I'm not really sure about it.
I'll give you a hint. He shares the first name, with a very famous former Vice President of India.
Um,
That's correct. One last question. You've also worked in Infosys.
yes, sir.
What is the reason that we have a Google, a Microsoft, a Twitter, sometimes all of these headed by Indians, but why don't we have something like this in India? Why don't we have an Indian Google or an Indian Microsoft or Indian Twitter? What is stopping our engineers from building world-class products?
Uh, Sir, I would say there are multiple reasons actually behind it. Firstly, sir, the spend we do on R&D sector is extremely low. The 0.7% of the GDP they are spending on research and development. While nations like US and Japan, they're spending more. US is spending more than 2%, Japan is spending more than 4%, Israel more than
No, but
4%.
what is the linkage of state spending on private sector initiative? You're talking about the state spending, right? Or overall
Yes.
private sector. So what I do not think that any state spending, the state cannot create a Google or a Microsoft. It has to be private enterprise.
Sir, it's not just about the state, sir. Overall, private sector spending in research and development is also very low in India. Like if we compare to other nations, the major share of the percentage of GDP.
What is the reason? Why does a private company today not being how why is it not able to invest in R&D? What is the reason? Are they simply they don't want India to progress or there are any structural reasons? Think and tell me the answer. I'm not in a hurry.
Yes, sir. Sir, it's mostly structural reasons, sir. Like economic survey also mentioned about regulatory cholesterol. It also mentioned the example in which getting a license is really difficult in India. So the environment, the overall culture is definitely missing. Now, in recent years, we have given to the startup policy and other things. But before that, it was like very much little in scope. So that is one of the reasons, like getting licenses, all the government steps, that is difficult here. So that is one of the reasons that people don't want. Now, sir, but things are changing definitely. Now we have so many unicorns. That people are coming with their big startups now. So soon I'm hoping that we'll have Google with us also.
What does the country need more, entrepreneurs or civil servants?
So I feel it like it's comparing like apples and oranges. I mean, civil servants have their own unique qualities, own unique place in the setup of the country. And sir, entrepreneurs are also examples. How can we just replace or compare both of them? They have the unique places, and both are very important in the growing of the country, the development of the nation.
All right, Shambhavi, your interview is over.
Thank you, sir.